Welcome to Jersey Matters. If you're looking for a silver lining, any good news in the foreclosure problem in New Jersey, well, we're no longer #1 in the country. We are #2, and there are far too many foreclosures. To talk more about that is Christian Schlueter, who is the president-elect of New Jersey Realtors. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Why so many foreclosures in New Jersey?
There's a lot of reasons for them. The economy started when it tanked, and there were a lot of issues with that. But New Jersey is a judicial process, so it has to go through the courts in order to do it. So it takes a longer time to go through a foreclosure in New Jersey.
Foreclosures, it's an awful thing to happen to a homeowner. It's an awful thing to happen to a family. Are there steps you can take to avoid it?
There are. There should be financial education from even before somebody buys a house. Once people start to run into problems, sometimes they tend to wait a little too long before they start to seek help for it. There are certain programs that are available to them. There's some federal programs that are still in place to try to help people avoid foreclosures and refinance their homes. Unfortunately, sometimes some of the people will get so far behind that it almost becomes an issue for them to try to work that out. But there are some programs out there, and if they can't work out refinancing their house, there are some instances where they can request a short sale, which is when they ask the bank to accept less than what's owed to sell the house.
Is there a point where it becomes financially advantageous for you to walk away from the house, where it would cost you more money to keep it?
For a lot of people, some people had borrowed the equity of their house and had borrowed it so much to where they're unable to get that money back. Some people lost their jobs and are unable to maintain their mortgage. So in some cases, when it gets to a point where they're not able to refinance their house or not able to work something out to maintain their house, some people just leave. I mean, some people will stay in it until they actually are forced to leave it, and some people just go.
There is this theory out there that some people profit from foreclosures, that there are people that go to buy these homes at foreclosure properties, the banks like foreclosures, the realtors like foreclosures because it gives them more homes to sell. Is any of that true?
No. Realtors want to keep people in their homes. If somebody stays in their homes, it keeps the value up in the neighborhood, it keeps the neighborhood good. If people walk away from their homes, the homes tend to become not only neglected, they become really distressed. Sometimes there's vandalism, sometimes there's other damage. It brings down the quality of life in a neighborhood. And it's tough on the people that leave too, because now they have to, you're talking families that now have to go look for a place to live, and usually when they've lost their home to foreclosure, their credit is pretty much shot, so it's not easy for them to find places to live. We will sell a distressed property, whether it's a short sale or foreclosure, because that's part of our duty, is to help bring the values back up in the neighborhood. Because if you were in your neighborhood and there were 3 or 4 homes that were boarded up or distressed, and the value of those went down, when they do sell, they're going to sell for less. And if you decided to sell your property about that time, it's going to make the value of your home seem less to a potential buyer. So there's a lot of different ways.
And banks don't want the homes, right? They'd rather not be involved in that.
Banks don't want homes. Banks are losing money the longer that the home stays negative to them. They can't reuse that money that they would otherwise be having, and if they resell it, they can take that money and put it to better use.
So does this go with the economy? Now we're coming out of a recession, but we have interest rates getting up higher. I don't know if that has the effect, but will we come out of this trend?
Through November last year, we had 17,000 homes in New Jersey that completed foreclosure. We currently have another 70,000 that are in the process. So it's not a quick fix. It's not an easy way out. Just as it took us longer to get into the foreclosure process that made us #1, some of the other places started earlier, so they came out earlier. So we're on our way out of it, but it's really going to take time. It's not going to be anything that's a short solution to it.
Is there any kind of opportunity in foreclosure for a home buyer?
A lot of people, everybody watches the infomercials, where you go in, you put no money down, and you get a house for free, and then none of that's real. And what happens is the people go into those things, and a lot of times the lenders, because of the newer restrictions on lending, there are a lot of loans that homes won't qualify for that are bank homes. So usually it's either a homeowner who's willing to come in and get a rehabilitation loan, which is available usually through FHA if they're going to live in the home. But for the most part, most of your homes are first-time home buyers, and they usually don't have the ability to be doing all that and have all those connections to do it. So it's not as frequent as it is mostly for investors.
It's not a
business.
It's not. There's nobody out there making money on this. Thank you.
There are some investors, but it's mostly low-end stuff that they're looking for.
I thank you so much for coming in and talking about this. Christian Schlueter is the president-elect of New Jersey Realtors. Jersey Matters continues right after this.